Your side have obviously got an opportunity to put things right after a couple of defeats, and the fans that I've been speaking to have been talking about wanting to see a bit more passion and fight from your players. Do you want to see that as well?
You know, every time you play against, play for Man United, that's passion and fight, of course, are things that you expect to see. To earn the right to win a game of football, you need that. And definitely against Everton. You know, with or without fans at Goodison Park, you still have to have that fight and passion in you. And that's, of course, a given. I know times now are different. Times are strange, you know, the strain on the players, and football is not the same, unfortunately, without the fans and the passion. So that takes away from it. I don't think anyone, or I know it, no one's been in the situation the players are now. They've had months and months of playing with the uncertainty and the unknown of the virus and the pandemic, and sometimes it's easy to sit at home and think football's the same and you expect the same from everyone. Sometimes we have to look behind and we have to look after them, both physically and mentally, and these are things I think about a lot. And thinking about my players on how do they cope with the whole situation. So yeah, passion and fight. We'll see that. I'm a definite believer in these boys, and then they will come back and show how much they care.
You mentioned Everton. How do you think they've changed under Ancelotti, and how impressed have you been with Dominic Calvert-Lewin?
No, well, it's not just Dominic Calvert-Lewin. It's the whole team, the setup. You saw when Carlo came in. You know that that's a manager that everyone admires, players, other coaches, us managers. He's had a fantastic career, and you start having a little look over there. Then, of course, they didn't have a very, very good period after the restart. Maybe struggled a little bit, but now you can see what he's been working on. He's had a good pre-season, probably used the restart as well to look at his team, and been impressed. And of course, Dominic Calvert-Lewin has been part of that, and is integral to their play.
Hi, Ole. How's the reaction been from the players within the group to those defeats, and what have you made of the external reaction to the defeats?
You know, we had a very long and late flight back home, so we were here early Thursday morning, landing in Manchester. Of course, the Thursday was a day of some tired minds and tired heads and legs, and we couldn't do a lot. Today has been a bright day, sunny day in Manchester for a change, and the boys are ready for a reaction. We're all hurt, and it's never easy and never enjoyable when you lose 2 games on the bounce. But that's football, and you've got to react to it. You have to. We know that Champions League games are difficult, and but the manner of the goals obviously wasn't. You don't mind when they outplay you, but we gifted them goals.
Ollie, is it a fact of life as manager of Manchester United that when you have a performance like Wednesday and the mistakes were made like Wednesday, that people call you or the manager into question, the players into question, and the reaction is as fierce as it's been?
Yeah, that's you have to be mentally strong. You have to be, of course, there's demands on a Man United player and a coach and a manager, and there's also an expectation because we are at the best and the biggest club in the world, and you don't expect to have anything but criticism then. It's just how you deal with it, how you deal with that setback. And from what I've seen from the boys, they've been very focused since we come back, ready to give a response.
Ollie, I think everybody on this call has known you an awful long time as a player and a manager. I mean, firstly, how are you? And secondly, does this feel like a bigger game than just going to Goodison Park and trying to beat Everton?
I'm good. You know, you don't have to be happy to still stay positive. Because the thing is, you know that on difficult days, on hard days, in life, there will be better ones coming. And for me, I know these players well enough that and I trust them enough to have a response, going out there, enjoying wearing the shirt, playing against a good team, of course, which always is another personal pride as well, that you go out there and play against some very, very good players and a good team.
In the last week or so, but are you still as certain as you were when you were appointed Manchester United manager on a permanent basis that you still will be successful here at this football club?
Yeah, why shouldn't I be? Why shouldn't I be? if I'm not, if I don't trust my beliefs and values and my staff's quality and the players' quality, who else should? Of course, I am very, very. I don't look at one or two results and fall like a house of cards. It's setback, definitely. I think there's been too much made of, say, not scoring against Arsenal and Chelsea, because those games, there's been more or less nothing in those two games, and there's not long ago we were the best thing since sliced bread when you beat Leipzig and PSG. So there's ups and downs in football, and that's just the way it has to be. And you've got to have that belief in yourself, belief in the players. The club has been very positive. They've shown me their character and the strong leadership. So I'm looking to Saturday morning or lunchtime kickoff, which is another matter. We can talk about that later on, probably.
Carlson?
Yes, hello, Ole.
Right.
If you are safe or not, it almost seems to be changing with the wind these days in Manchester. How do you feel yourself? Do you feel the pressure before a game against Everton? And is it like a do or die game for you? And do you also feel the backing from the board and Mr. Woodward?
You know, I've always had a very good, open, honest, and a positive dialogue with the club, and they've, as I said here, they've shown strong leadership. I've had good dialogue continually since I've come in, and with me today, sunny in Manchester, I don't expect the wind to turn. Of course, there's always pressure and expectations on us, but as I've grown up here, or I became a man at Manchester United, and I've learned how to deal with good and bad times. So there's always you're a top coach or a manager when you win, and you're bad when you lose, because that's the last game you've played, and you're not really better than your last game. But it's history. Football, every game of football becomes history quickly, and we've just got to go into Goodison Park in a positive frame of mind.
Our last question is section for Andy Mitton.
I can't really see. Where's
Hi,
Andy?
Ollie.
Yeah, there you are.
I'm in Heathrow Airport on the way back from Istanbul. You talk about the highs and the lows. How can you understand why the team is so good one week in Paris against RB, and then the opposite a week later? And what can you do about that inconsistency?
Every game lives its own life, and there's fine margins. I've said that many times. And performances, results create the headlines and the backdrop. And in games that you win at times, you're praised and you're like, that was a fantastic performance. Sometimes you lose and you're criticised. It's not as black and white as that is. But definitely, yeah, we're searching for that consistency. That's something we need to improve on. Consistently doing well, that is what I mean then, not consistency the other way, because we need a response after the Everton one. But I come back to what I've just said a few times, or I said early on, with the players and the mentality and the times we live in. I think that has to have an input in people's daily life and mental health at the moment. So sometimes you think about the players, how focused they can be on football, and I'm sure that sometimes after defeats it's easier to focus on that I need to get back to preparing well. Sometimes when you've done well, maybe you drop your guard a little bit. You think maybe we've cracked it. I'm looking forward to response anyway on tomorrow afternoon or just lunchtime. Yeah.